Well, I'm out on the trek today. First time since having a BikeFit. So yes, I finally bit the bullet and went and did it. And it was an interesting experience. So I'm going to repeat myself here because I'm sure a lot of people watching this won't have seen all my earlier videos. So basically, I'm riding a frame that's a bit too big for me. And it's frustrating, very frustrating, because on the Trek website you put in all your dimensions, and after 34 years off the bike, so much has changed and a lot of things I'd forgotten. So when I decided on the checkpoint, I decided to use their recommendation. I mean, you know, when I was racing, I don't even think the internet had been invented. So you couldn't do all of this. But they've got a thing on their website. They've got a size calculator. So, bikes have changed. Bike geometry has changed. So I had no idea. And even more annoying, my nearest Trek dealer actually had a 56 Checkpoint ALR 5, same colour. So I decided it was the bike I wanted. So I got on the Trek website, and it wasn't as simple as some of them, because some of them just tell you that it's a rider from 5'8" to 6'1" or something. But no, Trek had me measure my arms, my inside leg, my overall height, all of this sort of thing, and it came up with a 58. And I tried it again, checked my measurements, and came back with 58. Changed around a couple of the measurements that I wasn't sure of here and there, and no matter what I told it, it said you need a 58. So I went to my local, or my closest, not local, Trek dealer, and I said, sorry, morning. And I said, I'm sorry, but bike won't fit me. I don't know if you can hear that aeroplane there. Seems to be quite a popular place for pilot training, light aircraft. There is one fella who comes out across the Porthcawl seafront and gives us a little bit of an aerobatic display. That was quite nice. So I ended up going to a shop in Cardiff to get this 58 checkpoint. And I went out riding over the moon. I mean, you know, it's a great bike. But I've had problems getting comfortable on it all along. And a few people have said to me, frame's too big for you. And it took me a while to accept that because, you know, surely the manufacturer should know best. They should have a little thing on the website that says if your frame size isn't right after using their sizing chart, you can take it back. Hey, no, I'm joking, they'd never do that. So here we are. I've got the bike, and you know, to some degree, you can make it quite comfortable. It's not the end of the world, but I've continually had really numb wrists on this bike. And then I got the fast road, and in fairness, I struggled with that a bit at first. And the problem with the fast road was I was going the wrong way. I was trying to make it feel more like the Trek. And eventually I was really comfy on the fast road. And the checkpoint was kind of okay, you know. But it even got me thinking, that maybe for my age and stature and so on, flat bar bikes were the way to go. It is quite amusing though, how when you're out on the road, you come across another group of riders, and they definitely take you less seriously when you're on a flat bar bike. A lot of snobbery in cycling. So after a year of reading reviews and deliberating and all sorts of things, I ended up with the Revolt. And the Revolt fits me like a glove. And then a poor old Checkpoint sat around for a month unused because the Revolt was so nice to ride. And I thought, this is a sad state of affairs, I'm going to have to ride the Checkpoint. And as soon as I started riding it, I could tell immediately one of the big differences is the handlebars are much wider. And within 5 minutes, I had numb wrists. And I worked out what I thought the problem was. And in fairness, I was wrong, but I was going in the right direction. And this is the problem. I wanted to buy a 90mm stem and 42mm bars. Or should I say 42cm, 420 bars. But what if it's not right? What if that doesn't solve the problem? I mean, you have to spend more money buying different parts. I thought the BikeFit might be worth the money. So I went to my local bike shop in Porthcawl, and I spoke to them first, you know, because you need to get a feel for the people you're dealing with, because it is a fact that some bike fitters disagree with others. And some are much more performance and race orientated. And all I'm trying to achieve a bit of comfort, pedaling efficiency, that sort of thing. Mainly comfort. Right, coming up to a pretty steep climb now, so I'm going to have to stop talking because I'll be completely out of breath. Wow, that really takes it out of me. At least the gates are open. At least the gates are open, we haven't got to get off the bike. So I built a bit of confidence and booked myself in. And I've done the BikeFit. So here I am, riding the bike, which is a lot more comfortable. I haven't cured it all yet, but the first thing that he did, which really surprised me, is he put the saddle up, and not by a small amount, but by about 15 mil. And he did the setback and one thing and another. And he kept using his video, and he's got a little tool that shows you the angles of your knee and your back and all of this kind of thing. So he said, right, now we need to address the front end. And I was going to put a 90 mil stem on, and he put a 70 on. Well, that's paid for it on its own, because that would have been me buying a 90 mil stem, finding out that hadn't worked, then an 80, finding out that hadn't worked, and then he looked at the handlebars. So I was on the right lines. I was going to put a shorter stem and narrower bars on, but it's just nowhere near to the extent, because he agreed with me. The handlebars are too wide, but he said I wouldn't go for a 42 centimetre. He said I'd go for a 40 centimetre. Well, that's still to happen. I haven't got the new bars on yet. But even with the seat height and the shorter stem, the bike feels so much better. So I'm really eager now to get these narrow bars on and then start loving this bike again. And all that beeping you can hear is the new GPS. I will talk about that in another video. It's awfully windy out today. Has been. Oh yeah, really. Even at that time when we had a month of sunny weather, it was still quite windy, and everybody moaned and said, oh, it's too hot, it's too dry, we need a drop of rain. And I kept saying to them, you live in Wales, enjoy the sunshine, the rain will come, and when it does, it won't stop. But it started raining again, and it hasn't stopped. I mean, even on dry days, it's been fairly gloomy. And on the days where I've been out, probably seen in the videos, I've had a couple of dry days, but quite often it starts raining again in the afternoon. And yes, the bike is squeaking. I apologise for that. I did ride it in the rain a few days ago. And I dried off the chain before I put it away. And obviously not enough. So I'll have to clean it off and re-lube it when I get home.